what is up? The gang is back together again. My voice is 95% back. And on today's show, everyone's favorite, or least favorite, Dawson Miller, we have got the voice of HYROX, the best interviewer in the game, one of the founders slash co-founders of the Rox Lyfe. People just open up to this guy. You want to know your deepest, darkest secrets? Go check out Greg's podcast. People just telling him stuff. That's right. We got Greg from the Rox Lyfe all the way over in England. Greg, how are we doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for the intro. No, I'm very well, thank you. Good to be back.
It's great. It's always a treat whenever you're here. And the fastest RMR athlete on the Jersey Shore, the only person in Rich's small group who actually knows that the last name is Hochleitner, not Hawkleitner, Jack and Rich.
I was going to say, throw Rich under the bus, too.
Yes. She just got done doing a crazy Rich Ryan workout. Is she going to survive? I don't know. Michelle Navarro. Michelle, how are we doing?
Barely made it today, guys, but I'm doing great and happy to see you all.
Michelle is the most prompt person at Racebrain. Jack is a very close second.
Oh, no. 9:58. Second. Okay. I thought you were saying I was the opposite.
No. I'm saying that you are almost as prompt as Michelle. And I knew that Michelle had to be down bad. And she was like, guys, I need 5 minutes. That is not Michelle. And then we have the captain of Team Colorado, Mr. Goofy Games. This guy still knows more about European OC. Is OCR even a thing anymore? That's right. We got Jack Bauer. Jack, what's the current status of OCR? I'm just kidding. Nobody cares.
We'll talk about
Jack,
that sometime, but it's not good in the U.S. We're here to talk about HYROX.
Jack, are you ready for the Rich workout later?
That's why I did it after this episode instead of before, like Michelle.
Some of us got plans after this, Jack. I gotta be somewhere after this.
Michelle's popular. I don't know if you know this. She's been cooking. She's been baking. She
but
like
literally, I have to bake something.
Yeah, she's been baking all these like special bread. She's even the presentation. She's even got like the to-go like bakery wrap, whatever you call it. Rich could never. Anyway, gang, we're back, which can only mean one thing. It's time to do power rankings. I'm not sure how much has changed, but we got a major coming up. We're all going to be there.
It's going to be sick.
Is this the first time we're all going to be in the same place at the the same time?
Chicago.
I guess Worlds.
Yeah, Worlds.
It's kind of been, has Greg gone to the U.S.?
Yeah, I didn't even see Greg because, well, I mean, you're Mr. European OCR, so I mean, how do I know you're not rabbiting over in Cardiff?
True.
Not. Yeah.
Never know. Yeah. Never know. I didn't see Greg at Worlds, mostly because he just has a throng of people just around him at all times. I mean, wherever this man goes, that's where the people want to be. You know.
We spend most of the day tied up rehearsing for the.
I know you guys are. Talk to us about that. I didn't realize how much prep work goes into that. You guys are doing like hours of work pre-show.
Yeah, hours, and like several meetings before we even get there, actually, as well. And it's mainly for the half-hour pre-show. So we might be on air for like 3 hours or whatever it is, but that half-hour pre-show gets planned to the minute or the second, really. And there's a lot of work that goes into that, and then they just let me until loose on the commentary for the next 2 hours. But the prep for that first half hour is like extensive, really.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of the production has just gone up. I mean, it just gets better and better every single time. So it's really a world-class production at this point. All right, gang. Well, we do have to talk about it because Greg is coming over and potentially racing. But the map is out.
Oh, sweet. Is it?
Is it sweet, Michelle, or is it not?
Michelle,
sweet?
Just wait.
Oh, boy.
Just wait. It's not great. Okay. I was just telling Greg before we logged on that I think that I have decided, and it doesn't really matter. I think I'm free to speak my mind. I got
don't hold back, Matt. You haven't in the past.
I got some guff. Yeah, I got some guff about my stories as it relates to the carpet down in Dallas. I got a very strongly worded email, but you know what? HYROX ambassador codes don't even work anymore. So I don't have any benefit. So I'm just going to speak my mind. I think I've decided that the reason why US courses are slower is because we just don't know how to lay out a course here in the US. Michelle, wait until you see.
I was going to say, I'm looking at it now.
Oh yeah. I'm going to pull it up on the screen if I can figure out how to make this smaller so it'll fit. All right, let me share here. Greg, as the voice of HYROX, you do not have to participate in this.
Yeah.
And Matt, just for clarification, this is the general course, not the Elite 15 course.
Right.
That's correct. We do not know what the Elite 15 course is going to look like.
Well,
all right, so here's what we got. Here's what we got going on here. We have a 2 and some change lapper. Start tunnels right here. You're going to come out. Bam. That's the first time you see the end. Bam. That's the second time you see the end.
I'm not seeing
the third time. Oh, okay.
Well,
that sucks. The third time you see the end is when you go in. So the run 1 will be the longest because that is the same pattern for all 8 runs. I'll say this. A couple nice things that I like about this. Wall balls right here. So that's nice. Although this looks like it's a fairly decent run to actually get in. But other than that, we're going to come in and we're going to immediately, for 6 stations, we're going to immediately do a hairpin 180 turn and backtrack the way that we just came. Makes no sense. Jack, you're an architect of sorts.
I'm a traffic engineer, actually, believe it or not. So I understand a thing or two about flows.
That's what I'm saying.
This right here
makes no
would
sense,
be called
right,
conflicting left turning movements, right? You just don't have the in after the out. Doesn't make sense.
I guess the nice thing is sometimes in the US we have people flowing into each other. And here we shouldn't really. Because everyone's going to be funneling out that way. But I just don't understand why we need to have a hairpin turn.
My big issue is that top right corner out. You have a blind corner, essentially, and that's where everyone's going to be getting up to speed. I do not like that placement.
There's some big fellas that are going to be on the course. You might get run over by a bulk pony.
Most of the time, you're not running too fast, like your first couple steps after sandbag lunges either. So that doesn't look like a good combination at that point.
Tough. But you know what? It's not going to stop Michelle Navarro from improving her rankings in the U.S. women's field. I'm calling it. Michelle Navarro is moving up to at least top 20. After Phoenix.
It's definitely a goal. I don't think it's out of reach at this point. I've been trending in that direction, so we'll see how it goes. But everyone's getting better at the same time, so it's
including you.
And it's the fun part, but it's the challenge as well. But I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely a goal.
Gosh, there is not a nicer, more humble podcaster in the game than Michelle and Greg, and we're fortunate enough to have them both here. Michelle is going to light Phoenix on fire. It's going to be awesome. Gang, let's talk about some top 5 rankings. So the last time we did this was pre-Melbourne. It was fairly agreed upon at the time, but we've got some big shakeups. We've had some results since then. We've had some injuries since then, unfortunately. And so I'll be curious to see where we all net out. So let's go ahead and pull up the old wheel of names and figure out who's going to give us their top 5 list first. Oh my gosh, the wheel of names has changed. This is interesting.
Oh no. That's not good.
For better or for worse?
We'll call it better.
Okay.
Not as many ads, but it is a little
as long
jarring.
as it's functional.
It is functional. Let's go ahead and make that full screen. First up to give us their top 5 list is me.
All right.
Next up, Greg, the Rox Lyfe himself.
Number 3.
And Michelle. And then for the sake of posterity, got to give Jack his flowers.
Yay.
Jack. All right, Jack, since you are last, do you want to start men or women?
I'll start, man.
All right, we are going to start with the dudes. Jack, you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Yes, I'm about to do that. Is that on?
Look at this. This
New and
is new.
New and improved.
All right.
This is new.
All right, just wait. Okay.
Yeah,
So
this is gonna be dope.
I'm gonna go and list. Should I do 5 through 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, I've got Charlie Bottrill.
Whoa.
Matt goes
I get to
first.
pick- I get to
Oh,
pick
I thought you
first.
said,
just
do
thought-
I want to go? Do I want to go
No,
first?
do you want to start men or women?
Oh, I thought since we were doing Snake, I was gonna be going. Never mind. I
No.
messed that up.
It's all right. It is okay. All right. You kind of already gave it away, but that's fine. In the 5 spot, give me Charlie Bottrill. In the 4 spot, give me Hunter McIntyre. In the 3 spot, give me Dylan Scott. In the 2 spot, give me Alexander Ronkovich. And in the 1 spot, Tim Beinish. Greg. Greg, can you hear us?
Sorry, yes, I'm back. My connection is terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I thought you were just like,
uh,
I'm not saying anything about Phoenix. I'm staying out of
Yeah.
it. And then I quickly realized, I'm like, oh, he's actually in the background. He's working.
Sorry. No, right. So mine, similar-ish, but I've gone with Hiddy Wiersma in 5th, Hunter McIntyre in 4th, Dylan Scott in 3rd, world champion Tim in 2nd, and then Alexander Ronovich in 1st.
Bang. Michelle.
Right. Got some similarities here. I have Charlie in 5th. I have Tim in 4th. Hunter 3rd. Dylan 2nd. And Ronk 1st.
I love where this is going. Jack.
All right. In 5th, I've got Charlie. In 4th, I've got Hunter. 3rd, I've got Dylan. Number 2, Tim. And number 1, Alex.
That would that have been the first time that we were ever in complete agreement, Jack?
It
We
would
were
have
real close.
but it
Real
wasn't
close.
happening. Once I saw you do that, I'm like,
Like, nope.
Well, I didn't know who I was going to put 1 until I decided who to put 2, to be fair. So that was pretty, I guess I'll talk about my list first. My thoughts on this, I feel like it's, for me, that top 4 feels fairly interchangeable in some regard. Obviously, Ronk didn't race Melbourne, but I feel like watching the last couple of years, Tim
seems to have figured it out to where he just goes like this throughout the season. He had a very impressive race in Melbourne, and I don't think he had his best race in Hamburg. Now, I could easily be swayed. I probably shouldn't say this, but I could easily be swayed to still put Ronk at the top. And I do feel like the gap between Dylan and that top has closed. I think Dylan is capable of being a world champion. I think Dylan is capable of winning a major. I just want to, I don't know. I want to see him in a race down to the finish. I still think that the lasting image in my mind is Dylan ran that race in Hamburg really, really well, but Ronovich was not concerned after the lunges. So I think for me, I would want to see Dylan. He might I might get two middle fingers in Phoenix. I mean, he might go unbroken on the wall balls and tell me to suck it. And I would love it if he did. But that's what I'd want to see for that. And then as far as Hunter, the reason why I have him 4 is he has put up some crazy performances in both at World Championships, in Melbourne, obviously in Dallas. But the thing that I need to see from Hunter is the details. I think that's, I still feel like I think he was the better. Well, I guess I can't call someone a better racer if they don't have the details. But Hunter, I thought, was the best physically on the day in Melbourne, but he wasn't the best racer, and that's why he didn't win. And I think that until, it's been over 2 years now since we have seen Hunter win an Elite 15 race, which is a crazy stat. And it's not like he hasn't been racing. We've got Melbourne, we had Worlds, we had Glasgow, we had Vegas, we had Nice, we had is that the last time that I can't remember what he did before that. But then Charlie Bottrell obviously is my new entrant, and for me, the way I look at this is Charlie has been ascending and rising, and he beat the field in Melbourne. He beat the likes of Sean Noble, James Kelly, Dearden, John Wynn, Bo Wills. He basically raced everybody that you would expect to be an Elite 15 race, with the exception of Ronovich and Rich. Right? I mean, so I just think as of right now, with the times that he's continuing to put up in the body of work, I like my chances putting my money on Charlie.
So it looks like Charlie and Hiddy are the only two in the spot that we can really argue about. Should we resolve that and then work our way up the chain?
Yeah, I think really the question is, I guess there is a few more questions than that. But yeah, all right, let's start Charlie versus Hiddy. So Greg.
Yeah. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, and I should say when I was deciding this, it was between Hiddy and Charlie, so I could be easily swayed in reality. But what made me decide it was I looked at the times, and I know you can't compare times from course to course, but in theory you can on these elite courses that are at least this specific setup. And Hiddy's time was actually over a minute quicker than Charlie's in Melbourne. And like I say, I know there's a lot of factors that play there, but I think Hiddy's looked super strong. Like he looked really good in Chicago. I think he finished 7th at the Worlds in Chicago. Then he came back and put in that performance with 54 something in Hamburg. Looked fantastic as well in the pro doubles the next day. And we've not really seen him since. I think he has one age group race since, but his training's been a bit off and things like that. So it wasn't the greatest performance ever from him. But that, I think it was 54.26, over a minute quicker than Charlie. Whereas with Charlie's always super good, races a lot, but that was easily his best performance in that Melbourne race. Like his Elite 15 solo debut, like running Birmingham, but didn't even win that age group racing in Birmingham this season. So I think on balance, that's why I chose Hiddy.
I think that's a fair argument. You kind of just brought it up. My concern with putting Hiddy above, just right now above Charlie, is that 60 high. So I don't know, like that. And to me, again, we know, and not all courses are the same. I'm not going to pretend like they are. And to be fair, Charlie ran a 59 high in Madrid, although I think that was his third race of the weekend.
Well, that's the same with Hiddy. He ran relay and doubles that same weekend
but he ran doubles. I think I would assume, looking at the run times, he was running doubles with maybe friends, because one of those doubles, they were running 450 pace, which, not disrespecting those that run 450 pace. Hiddy obviously is capable of running. That's probably lower than a zone 2 run for him. So that's my only thing is that, why did he run a 60 high? Is he hurt? I don't know. I'm just, those are the questions in my mind.
I think for power rankings too, usually like recency bias is more helpful, seeing them more often, and consistently Charlie has put up some better times. So I think that's probably why I went with Charlie over Hiddy. But again, agreed, it was between the two of them.
I do agree with that, Michelle. But Greg does have a really solid point. Like, if these courses are in theory the same because of the layout,
they're not.
I know. I'm just listing my argument. It was Hiddy ended up dropping the farmer's carry 45 seconds earlier than Charlie, or finishing it. So, I mean, 3/4 of the way through the race, you would have whooped him head to head. And Charlie kind of only got into that third spot because of a wall ball blowups, and Hiddy was pretty dominant, like in that third position for most of the race. Like he kind of asserted himself. I don't know. I could be swayed to go the other way.
Yeah, I will say, the only thing I will say on that is that I feel like this is something that I have been evaluating, because I have been known to say this, like, well, they only got in that position because of they only got that position because someone blew up or whatever. But like, if racing was as simple as just hitting 330 every K and being able to hit your station splits perfectly, like, there'd be no point to race. So you could argue that, like, sure, there was a blow up, but Charlie ran the race that he was supposed to and others didn't. So it's the same thing. Like, people, I had my opinion change. Like, I think after I first watched Melbourne, I said, oh, Hunter was the best racer on the day. Well, no, he wasn't. He made, he got warnings. He made multiple mistakes, and that cost him. And that's unfortunately a part of the race. Tim was the better racer. You could say Hunter was the better athlete. Tim was the better racer. So just a thought. I see your point, but I'm kind of curious, Jack. You've got this down here on the bottom row. You've got this last 12 months. Is there anything to that we could use to maybe make it? Oh, you're muted. But is there anything to that we could use to make a decision between?
Yes,
Charlie and Hiddy.
Yeah, actually, I could
hit us with it.
So let's do the two of them head to head.
Oh my God! Even the fade.
They haven't faced each other. So we've got all their results. And with someone like Charlie, who's run more, these are only the 6 most recent results in the past 12 months, because that's all that would fit. But you've got
These are also 6 races in 6 days. I'm kidding.
I know. Yeah. But yes, now we've got a little side by side.
I mean, it's tough because Hiddy has 2 elite races in here, whereas Charlie just has the 1.
You want to know what I'm doing? I'm looking
Did he really run a 63.37 in Barcelona?
LCQ, yeah.
Oh, a pro race. Got it.
Yeah. What I'm looking at right here is, in theory, the fastest you could run on that day. You can base everything off a percent of winner. Everyone has the same track that day, the same order. And Charlie Bottrill, 97.6. Hiddy 97.8. He was slightly closer to the leaders on that day in an event in which Alex set a world record. I'm changing my pick to Hiddy.
Yeah, I see your point, but like Charlie also has 3 100% of winners.
Right, like 3
I-
wins.
I know.
would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 100% of winner even on a race that he got third. How is that possible, Jack?
I don't know what happened there, but these other results are checking out. I don't know. I'll look into that.
All right, Jack is changing his opinion. I could go either way. Michelle, you sticking with our guy Charlie, the
Yeah.
Nike athlete?
I am more so in line of like trajectory and what I anticipate to happen in the next race in terms of my power rankings, and I just feel like Charlie's gonna excel here. So I'm sticking with Charlie.
All right. Then I guess it comes down to me to either flip my vote or we're gonna have to have a tiebreaker. Jack, I'm gonna use something that you used against me in the past, which is these are power rankings. To Michelle's point, recency bias comes into play. Charlie has been more impressive recently. I'm sticking with Charlie. So we've got a split. How should we break this tie?
Since I originally had Charlie on there, I'm not, fully.
No, you don't get to
committed.
flip back. You don't get to flip
No,
back.
I'm saying if that is used in a 2 versus 2 tiebreaker, you can use that against me.
Greg, do you have any? I don't expect you to know all of these athletes in depth in every race that they do, but do you have any insight into that 60-41?
Not a huge amount. No, I think I think it was. I think I feel like I've heard him say just like life stress, other stuff meant he wasn't able to dedicate as much time to training as previously. So I will admit, when I was like making my case for Hiddy, I did think, well, these are power rankings, and if these two were racing tomorrow, what would I bet on? It would probably be Charlie, thinking about it, because I just don't think Hiddy's training after he qualified. He's then basically focused on a race in June from there on. So I just don't think he had the prioritization for his training at that point as well. And then life stress and everything else got in the way. So
Charlie's also full time now, right? And Hiddy is not.
Yeah.
I mean, that means something. All right. I'm going to make an executive decision. Greg said that he would probably go with Charlie if he had to make a gut case right now. Charlie in the 5.
All right.
Okay. So I think
that was the easy one.
Yeah, now is the easy one. I think now what we should probably do is the three boys have put Hunter in the 4, but Michelle has got the reigning world champion. So I think, Michelle, make your case for why you've got Tim in the 4.
Do you want me to put all the stats out there so we can see him, and then we can?
Yeah, that's fine.
Around?
This is if you're by the way, this is a YouTube heavy episode, so probably just move over. We're just gonna go ahead and put them in no particular order for right now, just so we can see the numbers. Wow, Ronk has really not raced a lot in the last 12 months.
No, I double checked that, and I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Is this right? Hunter has raced more in the last 12 months than Ronk?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So I had Hunter. So I had Hunter in 3rd over Tim. So basically, I'm looking at the last 2 majors and kind of grouping them that way. So with Ronk and Dylan in Hamburg and Ronk setting the world record, that was just in my mind a higher level race in terms of like a time standpoint. So that's why I had Tim and Hunter like behind them essentially in my rankings. But I put Hunter first just because of the technicalities in that race were the only reason why he didn't win it. And so that kind of just stood out to me as what will be happening next time we see them together. So, and I also just feel like Hunter's ready for everyone to be in the same race and to take it. So I think he'll move up a little bit. So that's why I had him above Tim. And again, I have Tim below Dylan and Scott, Dylan and Ronk, just because of the times that Dylan and Ronk put out in their major.
Is it fair to say, do we agree that everybody was in that Hamburg race that you would expect to be near the top with the exception of Hunter?
I mean, recently we said that there are 4 athletes in that over-under episode, and these are the 4 we're talking about. Hunter's the only one who was missing. So among the
Right, but I
the
just mean
win- the win contenders, yes.
expanding, but even expanding the field a little bit, I think it's fair to say the top 10 men were in that race with the exception of
Charlie wasn't.
Hunter. Well, at the time, I'm saying at the time, though, because Charlie hadn't earned his way in yet.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I was-
contextualize that race for when it happened, is what
depth.
I'm saying.
Depth. I would say that Hamburg was a little better.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, I remembered that Ronk set the world record and that Dylan was close, but I kind of forgot that Dylan ran a 53:38, which is, I mean, the courses aren't the same, and not all the races are same, but that's faster than Tim's PR as well.
Yeah.
It was a fair point, Michelle.
With someone like Hunter, I think that he'll probably get second at any race that he shows up to, but I still put him at 4th because of his performances. I think that he loses the head-to-head against Dylan because the most recent time that we saw, no, actually in Chicago, Hunter got the better of him. But I don't know. I feel like Dylan's performance in Hamburg was better than Hunter's in Melbourne.
I agree.
But I still think you need the 2 winners of the race in the 1-2 spot.
What's crazy here is that Hunter has been like, I think he even said well, Greg, you would know because you were there, but I'm pretty sure in the media day at Melbourne, Hunter basically said the only person he viewed as competition was Tim. And I was like, that's a wild thing to say. But look at the head-to-heads. Tim like literally has Hunter's number, but then Dylan has Tim's number. And then I'm also looking at the percent of winner because these are tough races. And I will say, with the exception of Glasgow, which if we were going to make an excuse, not that we need to make excuses for Hunter, but like I'm pretty sure it was a week after Brisbane or Melbourne or
Tim flew to
Sydney
Australia and did okay.
No. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is Hunter raced in Australia and then flew over a day before that race. And that's his worst performance percent of winner wise. The thing about Tim that you could still make an argument on is on his day, he's the best in the world. And then on his not day, he's middle of the pack.
Because Tim has a
Like
7 and a 9. So he shows fluctuation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Where Hunter is 1 or 2. And it took world record. I mean, it took like out of this world performances to take him down.
I mean, our guy number 2, Alex, he lost to a guy who we just kicked out of the top 5, arguing for that 5th spot, and Hiddy at World Championship. So he, despite setting a world record, being a previous world champion, he hasn't raced a ton, and yet he has a little fluctuation.
I just think setting the world record means
yeah.
a lot more, and it was recent.
That was the easy reason for me putting Alex. It's like no one has ever run faster, and you won a major the last time we saw you. I don't care what else has happened. No one's run faster, and no one's beaten you since then.
Yeah,
so he can't not be number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah. We're splitting hairs here. We know that this is going to be a battle between the 4 of them. It can go in any direction.
Who should be number 1? Let's start at the top.
I would say Rob.
I don't know. I don't know because I said that my mind could easily be changed, and I think that I feel like it's 3 versus 1, and I wasn't even that committed to it. And now thinking back to that Hamburg race where Alex just blasted the field. All right, I think we got
with
to do it.
Hamburg
Greg's
not being
agreed.
that long ago, I know.
Yeah.
I know he didn't race in Melbourne, but like, Hamburg wasn't ages and ages ago, and
October.
that performance, I think, is
So Ronk, number 1.
Rock number 1, I think. Who's
Yeah, I
number
think
2?
it's got to be Rock.
Should Tim, after having won the other major so far? Or is Dylan's consistency and closeness to Alex being that he almost set the world record in that same race?
I don't know. This is tough.
Yeah, my vote is for Dylan, but I can be swayed for Tim.
Greg, you're friends with Tim. Why did you make the case for Tim at 2?
he won the most recent major. You know, if these are power rankings, he won it, and he's the world champion. So you know, he beat Dylan when it really mattered in Chicago. And I know that it was a little while ago, but then he beat a strong field in Melbourne as well.
And Dylan whooped him in his home country, though. Now that I'm seeing this.
Well, and also when you're in 1 or 2 during a race, it does come down to strategy sometimes. So like Tim could have gone faster if it was going out faster, you know, if Ronk and Dylan were taking it there. But if he was in control of the race, then like times, again, don't necessarily mean the same thing. But to Greg's point, like he won the race. So he timed it perfectly enough to win the race. So I'm good with Tim being number 2.
I think that most recent major win is kind of
I think the most
differentiator.
Yeah, I think the most recent major win, and if you want to go back to the last 3 elite races, Tim has won 2.
Yeah.
And Dylan was in both. No, sorry, that's not true. Dylan was not in both. That he won. Okay, Tim second.
And then Hunter versus Dylan. I think that Dylan's second place was more impressive.
I agree.
So I'd give him the edge there.
Me too.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
The time and then like no issues with penalties or anything. Smoother, more controlled race and faster time.
Hunter could have won. I agree with that. But I feel as though Dylan is like, I don't know. He doesn't screw up. He knows his body. He knows his race. And he's still right there entering wall balls at the same time during a race in which Alex set the world record. He was right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it feels like splitting hairs because we're talking about a 54-15 that had a 15-second penalty, and Hunter didn't exactly sprint across the finish line. So it's basically the same.
Yeah, but if I look, Matt, you have Dylan ahead of Hunter, Greg, same. Michelle, they're up a space, but Dylan ahead.
I know,
Hunter,
but it's not fun when we all agree.
We haven't agreed on like anything except now we finally have an easier decision to make based on what we said earlier.
All right. Your men's top 5. In the 1, Alexander Ronkovich. In the 2, Tim Beinish. In the 3, the hybrid raccoon, Dylan Scott. In 4th, the bulk pony, Hunter McIntyre. And in 5th, the Energizer bunny, Charlie Bottrell.
Is it confirmed that the top 4 we have here are racing Phoenix? Do we know?
Yes.
It is? Okay. Can't
Yes.
wait.
Well.
Or?
I didn't think Tim was. I don't think
okay.
Tim is.
All right.
Is that new? Is that recent, Greg?
I don't think anything's official yet, and it's not official with me. Like it's not like I know the final lineup, but I'm fairly sure that Tim's not racing.
Yeah, we're under 2 weeks away. It'd be nice if they post.
In fairness, I mean, it could have changed, but I do know I was having a conversation with one of the Elite 15 athletes right around Christmas, and they were fairly confident that Ronk and Tim were coming. But that was also 3 weeks ago.
To be determined.
So I guess we'll see. But I do know that Ronk is coming, and I do know that Dylan is there, and I do know that Hunter is there, and I do know that Charlie is there. So we will at least get an idea of. I mean, you just have to assume that if Charlie Bottrell can crawl, he will be on a start line.
He'll swim across the Atlantic to get there.
All right, on to the women. All right.
All right.
Our power rankings in the 5. Give me Jess Petro. In the 3 spot,
3.
give me. Oh, sorry, 4. Give me Lucy Proctor. In the 3 spot, give me Vivian Tafuto. In the 2 spot, give me Lauren Weeks. And in the 1, give me Sinead. Oh! Just kidding.
Locked in. You told me to keep it.
No, I just was mad that you were typing before I even said it.
She has a long name. I needed to start typing.
All right, Greg.
I am exactly the same, Matt.
Wow.
Let's go! Michelle.
All right. I have Sinead in 5th. I have Vivian 4th.
You know,
Lauren.
prior to 2024, that's where she always finished. Keep going.
Lauren 3rd. Meg 2nd, and then Joanna 1.
Jack.
Just unmute so you don't hear me typing. Number 5, I've got Lucy. 4, Meg. 3, Lauren. 2, Vivian. And number 1, Joanna.
Ooh. It started off that we were in complete agreement, and now it got spicy. Okay. Every list has Joanna 1, so let's just go ahead and put her there because I don't even really think that there's an argument to be made that she's not the one. We all agree?
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, she's the one to beat this year.
And even that second place finish in Chicago wasn't to anybody that we just named. So against the field, she's 3-0 in the last 3 races. In the 2, this is where, well, I guess maybe we should debate 5 because Greg and I have Jess Petro, Michelle has Sinead, Jack has Lucy. So we all have Lucy, though, with the exception of
Me.
Michelle. So, Michelle, why don't you make an argument for Sinead in the 5?
Yeah, I just know that Sinead is still coming back from injury, and she still put on a very impressive performance to get her world champ spot. I just have a feeling that we're going to see like almost 100% the next time we see Sinead out there. So again, this is me anticipating that we're going to see a big jump from somebody, and that's why she's in there over someone like Lucy and someone like Jess. I think her podium potential is raised essentially above those 2. So that's why she's in my list.
I think for me personally, it was a coin flip between Jess and Sinead. I went with Jess just because head to head in the last race, Jess won.
That was the only thing that I could see used against her. It's like, well, she beat her head to head, injury or not, or coming back from injury.
Yeah, can you put, just for the sake of conversation, can you put Jess in the 4 and Sinead in the 5 so we can see the stats?
Yep. And these reds, which represents like a lower time or a worse, it's because Joanna's screwing everything up by winning everything. So this isn't a bad performance. It's just simply red because it's lower.
Okay, so the only commonality they have is world champs.
And they're 1-1 head to head against each other.
Yeah, 1-1.
But most recently,
Yeah, it's
You
6
put-
seconds.
You put Lucy up there too.
So Lucy certainly has Jess's number, 4 wins, 1 loss head to head in the past year.
Okay, so Lucy and Jess actually have more commonality because they both have Vegas, they both have Glasgow. Actually,
Pretty much a
they were all the
major.
same. Yeah, okay. So so to your point, Lucy had Jess's number with the exception of which race was it? Hamburg, which was 3 seconds. Wow. Okay.
That's pretty remarkable seeing head to head like this.
And Sinead just doesn't have the body of work because she got in via the LCQ.
But her range only goes up to 5. Like she's never done worse than 5th. We have a different range for the other two, at least with the stats that you're showing.
But in the what have you done
Michelle-
for me lately, we've got a 5 for her. That might be the end of her range, but we have a 4 for Jess.
Yeah, coming off of a 3-month injury, though. You know who we haven't heard from on this topic? Greg, you obviously have Jess as 5, but I'm just curious, does Michelle sway your opinion at all?
I think no. Just purely
To put it
from the
bluntly,
head-to-head,
no.
To be fair, I do see. I think Sinead surprised me with her performance in Melbourne, like coming back from injury. That she'd done such little running training up to that point. It was a very impressive performance. So, like projecting forward, I can imagine that Sinead is going to do some impressive things. But I just think the reason I went with Jess it was purely because of that head-to-head in Melbourne. Plus, probably as well, I think I was probably swayed as well by what she's done in the doubles.
Yeah.
This season, which I know that's alongside Joanna, but they've looked like super good, broken the world record a couple of times. So it was that as well, like supporting it. Yeah.
Fair enough in terms of stats and the most recent major. I feel like it should be Jess 5, Lucy 4. But I think Sinead definitely deserved a shout out just because I know that she'll be up there.
I agree. I think they're both racing Phoenix, so this will get settled here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, so
All right.
I will move
Jess
her
in the
over,
5.
and it just makes sense since Lucy, where she is on the rest of everyone's ballot, probably put her in 4. Actually, now that I'm looking at
Actually,
it,
no,
two of
no,
us have
actually-
Meg, two of us
Actually, you
don't.
don't. All right.
The-
Well, then I'll go ahead and make the counter argument. I know why you guys have her there, and I think we all agree that when healthy, Meg has an argument to be somewhere between 1 through 3 on her day 1. I just think look, my thoughts and prayers are with Meg. I hope that we're better whenever she's in the races. We just don't know where she's at. I don't think she knows where she's at. She made a pretty vulnerable post that she's got a torn meniscus, I think is what she said on the post. And they're trying some alternative therapies to see if it can work. But I mean, she may not be able to run again for a month or 2. I mean, and if the therapies don't work, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that they do. Try to be very careful here because we're talking about someone's life and career. But it's not a guarantee that Meg races again this season. And I will say, going back to when we first started these top 5 rankings, Jack, I put her on this list when she was hurt, and you said we can't put her on the list until she races, and we don't know when she's going to race again.
I definitely agree with that part. For me, when she was like, it could be a few weeks, I could be back.
Right.
I know people who have had injuries. You see it in the NFL and NBA. Like people get knee injuries, and yes, they're on the shelf for a little bit, and then they come back until they cut her knee open or do anything like that. I feel as though she actually has a definitive, or she has an unknown timeline at the moment, but we're kind of just assuming it's on the long end. It could be just a short-term injury, and what's she done this year? She's running the 58s. Like
But
she would have.
this is power rankings, and
I know.
we're coming up on an elite race that she cannot participate in. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping you honest, Jack.
No,
you grilled me for this a year ago.
I'm well aware of it, and maybe I'm putting her in the conversation just to create a little controversy, because that argument is what I've used myself for her in the past.
Those 58s are incredibly impressive. Again, so I said if she's healthy, she might be 1, she might be 2, but she's not healthy currently. And those times are very impressive, but she didn't run them against the Elite 15. And that's not taking anything away from the times. I'm just saying it's hard for me to put her on the list when she can't currently run.
If for that technicality that we know that she's not committing to Phoenix, that we want to just not have her in this list, then that would be my only reason for not having her in there. But I'm
correct. And that
hopeful.
is my only reason, because
Yeah.
she said she hopes that this works and then she's back, but she also said she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. She said it could just be a few weeks, but she also left open the possibility that she might not race at all. And I hate that we're even speculating against this. Again, like we're like, the sport is better if Meg is racing.
I guess one argument that you can make is she more beatable now that that information has come out versus when she had run in the 58s in Madrid and Stuttgart so far this year? It's like you probably like your chances a little bit more just due to the uncertainty. So I think that would warrant her moving lower on the list.
Yeah, but also Meg has been very clear ever since the back injury that she's not going to toe the line if she's not 100% healthy. I think she even said something to the extent of, and I don't fault her for this because this is a champion's mindset, but if she doesn't think that she can win, she won't line up. Like she's not okay with coming in the middle of the pack and being and saying, "Oh, I wasn't 100% healthy." If she doesn't think that she can toe the line and win, she's not going to race. So,
yeah, I'm fine just given the uncertainty of her injury, moving her off the list.
Yeah, we know that
she's certainly like I probably would have put her. I could have argued her into second place if
that's why I put her there.
Info. Yeah.
I'll make the same argument that you made last year, which is I am not taking anything away from Meg Jacoby. She's an all-time great in the sport, and she might be one of the best current athletes in the sport. But a knee injury is not something to be messed with, especially in a running race. And we just don't know. If she comes out, we're recording this podcast on Saturday, January 17th. If she comes out the day before Phoenix and says, I'm running again, she's instantly back in my top 3, maybe 1, depending on how that race goes. But I just can't put her there if I don't know when she's going to run again.
Yep. All right. So we'll move her off the list. Now it's just Lauren versus Vivian. Let's get that head to head.
Let's see. Jack, you've got her as second. You want to go ahead and make your case for why she should be in the 2?
For Vivian?
Yeah.
Last time they raced, who did better? Vivian. And she just like after the race, I think in her post-race interview, she was like, "No, I don't have to go to Australia." So that was her plan the whole time. Like just because she didn't show up to Melbourne doesn't mean that you should take anything away from her, in my opinion. Just as we did on the men's side, we had Alex, who just had a fantastic race the previous time in Hamburg. He didn't go to Melbourne, so I don't think that you can punish her for not racing recently. And the last time that we did see her on the course in a solo race was she got the better of Lauren, and then the two of them teamed up and destroyed the women's record for doubles.
Greg, your thoughts on Lauren versus Vivian?
I see Jack's point, to be fair, and I did think about this myself. Like with the most recent race, Vivian got the better, and so. But I think considering everything, like all other previous races, and Lauren is the GOAT and everything like that. Like she didn't lose by a crazy margin to Vivian in Hamburg. So I ultimately went with Lauren in second. Like I see Jack's argument, but I just think based on everything as opposed to purely just one race, I think you've got to pick Lauren over Vivian.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Greg,
see Jack's point. I see Jack's point, but to Greg's point, like Lauren has never missed an elite podium except for when she was 8 months pregnant. Like I understand that it's power rankings and we're talking recency, but to Greg's point, like Vivian didn't beat her by a wide margin in Hamburg. And then, you know, we've seen Lauren come back and drop 258s since. And had a pretty like back and forth race early on with Joanna in Melbourne. I don't know if it was a strategy she was trying, but it's hard for me. I will admit I'm a Lauren stan, but it is hard for me to put someone over Lauren when Lauren is consistent. Whereas that was a very impressive performance in Hamburg. But we've also seen Vivian not necessarily put together back-to-back races.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, if you look at it, it's up and her last 4 elites are up and down.
Totally. But the thing that I look at, and I reference this in the men's argument, it's like percent of winner. So Vivian was only 0.4% slower head-to-head against Joanna. And Lauren has had 2 attempts head-to-head against her in Hamburg and Melbourne, and she was 1.2 and 1.5% slower. So relative to the obvious number 1 in the field, Vivian has been closer to her so far, and Lauren's had 1 extra attempt to do it.
All right. Well, Lauren's also beaten the obvious number 1 twice, and Vivian is 0-4 against her.
That was a long time ago. We're not talking about Glasgow and Las Vegas.
But it doesn't. But I'm just saying it's the last. Okay, but you can't, Jack. You can't have a stat on the screen and say that it doesn't matter. In the last 12 months, Lauren's at least beat her twice. Vivian's lost to her all 4 times.
But no one's arguing that Joanna shouldn't be number 1.
I know, but and Lauren is 3-1 in the last 12 months against Vivian. And I think we actually made the decision at the end of last season. I think we said that Lauren still had the best season because she steamrolled the majors. So there's precedent for this.
My vote is still for Lauren over Vivian. I think it's getting closer and closer, which is super exciting, but I do think Lauren has the edge here.
All right. Well,
no, Jack, you could. I was going to say arguing.
3 of the 4 of you have it. I feel like that's how it's going to end up. I just look at how we kicked Sinead off of the list to make room for Jess because of the most recent result, and we're not using that same logic in a race for Lauren versus Vivian when Sinead lost by 7 seconds and Vivian versus Lauren, that was like 40 seconds almost.
That is so different. That is the yeah. That's like saying we're talking about kicking Jordan Love off the quarterback list because Caleb Williams just beat him, but then you're all of a sudden comparing Tom Brady to Josh Allen. Like it's just not the same thing. We're talking about the inarguable GOAT of the sport. I get your point, but like Lauren is the best to ever do it. Sinead and Jess are up and coming. It's just not it's apples and oranges. Am I taking crazy pills right now?
No.
Did Jack Bauer really just say that Sinead Bent versus Jess Petro?
You asked for is there anything else that you can argue? so that was something else we can argue.
Well, we can keep arguing.
Doesn't mean I believe in it necessarily. Like I get there are tiers. If you're looking at career performance, of course, those 2 are miles ahead. But I'm simply using the "what have you done for me lately" argument.
Who do you think will get the better of who in Phoenix, Jack? Like Lauren or Vivian?
To be honest, I think Vivian at this point. I think that Lauren has struggled with the sleds since the new turf has come out, and I think that Vivian really excels at that. So despite the lifelong head-to-head, Lauren clearly getting the better of her throughout her entire career, I think that this is a different sport at the moment until Lauren can figure out the sleds. That she's the best runner in the field, if not the second best, every time she steps up, and pretty bulletproof on the remaining 6 zones. Till the sleds get figured out, I think that she has a weakness for the first time in her career, or at least in farmers carry.
I think that's a fair point. I think we're at the comparable argument here would be we are Hunter McIntyre fall winter of 2024 right now. Right? Like the armor kind of got broken whenever Sandy and Ronovich teamed up to crack him in Nice. Which is just crazy to say that, like, that feels like yesterday. We have barely seen Sandy since. And, like, that's just a side thought. But we, like, at the time, people would have still put Hunter in the top 2 and just said that he had a bad day or, you know, or number 1 and he had a bad day. And then now look at where we put Hunter. We got Hunter 4th on the list. That's unimaginable 2 years ago. And I think that's where we're at. I think if Jack, I could see your point. I could see Vivian winning. And I will say this right now. If Vivian beats Lauren head to head, then next time I have zero problem dropping her down because that's where I would say the trajectory is going.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last 12 months, she's 3-1 against her. And she's beaten the best in the sport right now twice in that same time frame.
So you're not saying it's a fluke, but you need multiple data points to bump.
I'm not saying it's a fluke, but when I'm talking about someone who's the greatest of all time, I need to see it. It's got to be repeatable. Like the reason why we have Joanna over Lauren is because it's repeatable. The first time Joanna beat Lauren, we didn't automatically put Joanna ahead of Lauren. We just said like, oh, it was a close race, whatever. We're still talking about the world's greatest. Now we all unanimously agree that Joanna is ahead of Lauren currently because she has repeated it. If Vivian repeats it, then I'll buy that stock. But as of right now, if you look over on the right-hand side, in the last 4 majors, she podiums 50% of the time. She's middle of the pack 50% of the time. Lauren's not missing podiums.
Yeah, I would agree with that logic. At least for now, right?
So if she does it again,
to be determined after Phoenix.
Yeah, after Phoenix, like whenever we go into the what's the final major? Warsaw. When we go into Warsaw, there's a very real possibility that we don't have Lauren as 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to go there yet.
I agree.
All right. Here's the list. Read them off, Matt.
All right. In the 1, the Aussie, Joanna Wetrick. In the 2, the GOAT, Lauren Weeks. In the 3, Vivian Tafuto. In the 4, Lucy Proctor. And in the 5, Jess Petro.
We got 2 doubles teams here too, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is crazy. I can't wait to watch them race in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. So, all right, Greg, what do we got this week on the Rox Lyfe?
Well, that remains TBD because if there's an announcement about the new elite qualifying system, it will be with Matt Locke. And if not, it will be with Molly Ficaris, who broke the mixed doubles world record with Cole Learn in Melbourne.
Awesome.
Okay. First off, that's incredible because that means we're about to have 2 dope Rox Lyfe podcasts coming up here in the next couple weeks. Make sure you like and subscribe to our guy, Greg. He's putting out quality content. You know what I'm looking forward to, Greg? I'm looking forward to your end of season Elite 15 like stats post that you do, like height, weight, run times, lifting times, because what I actually want to do is I want to look at that compared to the one you did in 2023, because I think the profile of athlete is completely different. Like back then you had guys squatting and deadlifting. I'm going to try to contextualize this for our European athletes, like 160 to 180 kgs or more. And I'm willing to bet that this year it is going to be way less than
that. Yeah, I think so. And even the ones that were doing that have probably realized it matters.
They're probably not doing it
now. So,
they're probably not doing it anyway.
And that marathon might get a little skewed by what Jake Dearden just did recently.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Did you guys see that
118 for half also?
I understand that he's a professional athlete, and so it's just different. Did you see that he did? It was either 4 by or 5 by 5 minutes at threshold yesterday.
Within a week?
That dude just ran a marathon on Sunday.
I knew someone who ran the Houston Marathon, not his level, and hasn't run yet since then. It's been a week.
Again, he's a professional athlete. I'm not. My hips still barely worked 6 days post Chicago, and that dude's out there running 5 by threshold.
Some people are built different.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that when he and JK, they like raced in Europe and then flew over, and 4 days later they did doubles again, and there was some stretch where he did 3 races in 7 days, including a transatlantic.
Oh yeah, they did Glasgow, and then they came over to Houston.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, like recoverability. So I'm not surprised.
It's insane. It is really interesting. I will say, on the Jake Dearden note, the thing that kind of blows my mind is that Jake proves how hard HYROX is, because his marathon pace is, in theory, like when you listen to any of the podcasts, right? Everybody says that HYROX race pace is probably closer to half marathon pace. His marathon pace is faster than all of these dudes are running. But it's like the station, that's just how damaging the stations are. Is even Jake is, it's probably fair to say, like an elite runner, right? I mean, that's almost 222, Jack. That's still got to put him in the top 2% of men's marathoners, 3%.
Top 2%, like just of the general public. No, that's like elite. Not too long ago, maybe a little. It was before Super Shoes, but like 218 was the B standard for the marathon trials in the U.S.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's not top 1%, because top 1% is what, sub 218.
Yeah, he's.
But I mean, he's an elite.
He's elite. a high sub elite level.
Yeah, and
he averaged 323 per kilometer for a marathon, which is faster than anybody's doing in HYROX for the 1,000 splits.
Yeah.
But that just my point is that goes to show how hard the HYROX is.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Greg, you were going to say something.
Well, what's interesting as well is Jake, like, shows the strength of field that Jake, I think, was 21st position qualifying for Phoenix. So I don't think he's going to be racing in Phoenix because he's not been able to qualify as well. Like, he can run those sort of times and can't qualify for the Elite 15 at the moment. And then also I was going to add Luke Greer, who's a new face, who I think is going to be in Phoenix. I think he's got a 225 to his name in the marathon.
He's a 29 mid 10K runner. On our most recent episode, Matt, on the whose stock do you have going up, I wanted to choose him, but there were too many other people.
All right, here's a fun question for you. Let's just go round table here. Greg, would you rather run a 222 marathon or a 55 pro HYROX?
55 pro HYROX.
Jack?
55 pro HYROX. I don't want to look like well, no, I mean, Jake's pretty ripped, but for what it would take for me to run that, I'd be skin and bones.
Michelle, would you rather run a 222 marathon or a 59 HYROX pro?
HYROX definitely is a more well-rounded sport, and I thoroughly enjoy the training and the way that it's helped me become a better athlete in general. And I really don't have the the desire to do a marathon, so HYROX it is.
You'd be able to. You'd be a pro runner.
I would rather run a 222. I would rather run a 222 marathon. Because in today's society, there are still more people that know what the marathon is than HYROX. Think about the shoe deals I would get.
Oh yeah,
with a 222. Are you kidding me? Asics is calling me. Nike's calling me. I can't wear them because they're too narrow. I could be an Adidas athlete. I could get all the Adios Pro 4s that my heart desires.
62 women in the world last year ended up running sub 222 in the marathon.
Nasty.
None of them from North America. So Michelle,
yeah,
I'll probably take that one.
It'd be the top American marathoner.
Nasty. All right. That's all we got. Like and subscribe to the Rox Lyfe. Like and subscribe to our podcast, The Rundown, The Drop. Next week, we've got the draft. We got to plan that, Jack. Michelle, we got to get that on the books. We'll be drafting. I'll probably get 4th. I'm just going to throw this out there now. I'm not drafting any Aussies or anybody from the APAC region unless their name is Joanna Wetrick. Did not work out for me last time.
Yeah.
I also am probably not drafting any Americans. Actually, I probably should just not draft. I think that's probably the best. My best bet of doing well is just not drafting. I probably have to do a randomized generator. But
You should
that's
do
all we
that
got.
next episode. See what happens.
I might. You know
I
what?
like the
Can't get any
idea.
worse. You know what I
Yeah.
might do? I might just flip a coin. I might write 2 names down and flip a
There you
coin
go.
before every draft pick.
I really want you to do that and see if it's better just to see how it goes.
Look, when I first joined Racebrain, I was locked in. And then ever since Rich passed over host duties to me, I am terrible. I'm so bad. It's a good
it's
thing
a
that
lot
I'm staying
easier
away.
when you're not on the show. Everyone says they can do this, but
Yeah, it's you know what?
it's Mike, see what happens.
It's a good thing that I have not been betting on Legends Sportsbook because I would be broke. So all right. Actually, should we talk about that real quick? What did you guys think about the HYROX dating app? I guess we can't go until we talk about that. Is that just an American thing, or Greg, did you see? Is that out over in Europe as well?
It's just an American thing. It's a partnership with HYROX America.
Interesting.
That's how lonely we are here in the States. Right? That's how lonely we are. We've got HYROX dating apps. I don't think any of us are qualified to discuss. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see how many people go to the 9th station, is what they're calling it in Phoenix. And hope you all find your HYROX lovers. All right, that's all we got. Later.